Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire episode 11. A little reminder of the community challenge rules, and of course if you want to join along, you can find Frost and Fire on my website or on the Steam Workshop. Last episode I asked you all to take part in a poll. The poll would decide whether or not crabs should molt their shells from material, much the way that wool is harvested in RimWorld. And overwhelmingly, you all said yes. So, the little details, 97.4% said yes. The vast majority, 78%, said a decent amount, roughly on par with that of vanilla RimWorld animals. And a slight majority said that the molt should take 50 days. About a third said 15 days. So, taking that input, I have the crabs molt roughly every 45 days. Picking up where we left off, I wanted to go over two tips I received. One, Raptor here should definitely be Angelia's master. There's no reason for him not to be. That's a very easy mood boost. And another one was a little bit harder to answer, and it's about the meditation spots. So the reason I didn't put in the meditation spots is that I don't have any meditation focus types for Opus or for Mackie. I would need dignified or artistic, and I don't have either. But let's say I did, I still wouldn't want meditation spots necessarily, because I want Opus and Mackie not to gain psi focus quickly. I would actually rather have them do it inefficiently so that they stay out of trouble. So if I wanted to, and I'll do it now, I could put in meditation spots in their bedrooms like this, so that, and set their psi focus up to max, so that they don't spend time in public gatherings in the, as part of the group here. And instead, they keep to themselves, they don't insult one another, and they don't pose an ongoing problem. So that's why I didn't add the focus points. The meditation spots here don't have any sort of benefit. So there's really no reason to put them down unless I wanted to really keep Mackie and Opus apart, which I suppose I could. So this episode, I am going to finish off the multi-analyzer so that I can start working towards better protection and combat tech. But on that front, I also want to prep for Raptor Talon's Ascension, Royal Ascension, which means focusing also on gaining components. Mostly because I just want components, but also cutting down sessile trees that have full yield. So I'm going to cancel the compacted steel mining, and there is not a good way to efficiently make sure that I cut down sessile trees. Now in vanilla RimWorld, what you could do is set up a grow zone like this, and just say, hey, don't sow anything here, but anything that's fully matured here, cut down. Now the problem is that in Frost and Fire, I can't set grow zones because the soil isn't fertile enough, which means that there's really not a good alternative. I have to check each and every tree to see how grown it is. So like this one at 96% is grown enough, I would say, that I can harvest it, but I'm going to have to do this for each and every tree. Now, fortunately, the larger they are, they tend to be the ones ready to be cut down, but that's not always true. There is some random variation here on tree size. By design, so that we can have a variety, mind you. All right, so a little bit of tree checking, and compacted. Oh yeah. All right, so Gabe is digging at the compacted machinery. And I am going to check as many trees on the map as I can. Now, I could have a tree nursery sometime in the far-flung future when it is easier to do. It is not currently easy to do a tree nursery, so I'm not planning on undertaking that as a project anytime soon. But if we really, really, really needed a renewable resource of lumber, it's a feasible, difficult, but feasible project. So I'm just marking stay close zones anywhere where I have trees queued to get cut down. And I'm going to start marking the rare mining resources, like the compacted machinery, as a higher priority to mine than steel. I am pretty okay with steel right now, the amount that I have, which is why I'm not going out of my way for it. Now, I also want to break down ruins for material, so let's do that as well. And this means I have to put stay close zones where the materials are. And this is very labor intensive, and quite honestly, it'd be... Alright, I can't get too close to the mech clusters, but quite honestly, it would be more efficient for me to buy these off of bulk goods, for sure, for sure. But for now, I'm just going to be removing it this way. Another thing I wanted to do is to get... so Bashir has a button-down shirt that's very close to being in the sort of time to destroy category. So let's use the gorilla leather, which is a little bit tougher than the cotton that we have, and make him a new shirt with JD. And then another thing I wanted to do is to change the crab zone so that they're not allowed here, and put these shelves out there to make room for the multi-analyzer once I'm done researching, because we're getting pretty close to being able to finish off that research. All right, Gabe is digging and compacting machinery. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that he's working on something productive. So he got a lot of the compacted machinery down here. There's still some more silver in this area. Let me force him to finish the job so that there's less travel time. Although his mood is definitely lower than I would like. Some of that is, I think, because I don't have a source of simple meals that I can eat often. But I'll take a look at his mood. Oops, that's not the cue I wanted. There we are. So we're just grabbing as many stones and blocks as we can from the map for maximum yield. There's some other sort of tasks I want to do. One is to queue up defenses for potential infestations in my tunnels. And that's actually very simple to set up. So one of the simple ways is to have periodic doors in this tunnel. And I'm going to put the doors roughly where the lights won't break for their illumination. So these doors compartmentalize the tunnels so that in the case of an infestation, fire is more effective. And let me explain. So let's say we have an infestation here. This area is covered in power conduits, which are flammable. And what I would be able to do is to set fire with a Molotov, the power conduits here, and the heat from this fire is contained into a much smaller square foot area, which means that it will be more effective as a source of heat, rather than trying to heat up the entire tunnel. So these doors allow you to burn out insects a lot more effectively, which is why I'm absolutely going to use that method for infestation population control. Okay, Gabe's pretty angry. All of my guests here are only here for a brief period. They're all pretty soon going to leave. I'd like to... Here, let me go ahead and make some simple meals to top them off. Once Gabe is up. Because I think these guys are getting hungry, and I don't want their moods to drop right at the goal marker, right when I'm about to complete that quest. So these doors can be kept open. They're a little bit less effective kept open, but in the case of infestation, I can always close them to sort of lock shut and make my fire control method of infestation quelling more effective. If I do get an infestation in my tunnels, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. I know I'm a little vague, but it's one of these things that it's easier to demonstrate. Now, if you want to know how I deal with infestations right now, my Desert Survival series that I have up on YouTube has a lot of infestation defense in it, and you can reference that if you'd like. All right, Gabe, it's time to plank cut. There we go. All right, so we're going to get simple meals out here in a minute. And as you can see, despite having doors, I laid out the doors between the lights so that the doors aren't blocking the light. So still, despite the fact that I have doors here, this cave is still very well illuminated by design so that it is less likely to get an infestation. But in the case that it does anyway, there's a ton of doors to compartmentalize the tunnels so that fire is more effective. And I'd rather do this method than trying to make it frigid below -17 Celsius, because that's just not an efficient or effective way of infestation control for a map that gets ridiculous temperatures like we have. It's just, no thanks. All right, Bash, I'm going to have to wake you up, even though you haven't slept much, because we are in dire need of simple meals. And then I'll have him go back to sleep. I just wanted to get some simple meals out here. I don't want to tap into my fine meals if I can help it, because I'd rather keep the fine meals for when we're low on mood. Now, another thing to note is once the quests are done, Raptor here is going to have enough honor to require a throne room. So that's another thing that we have to think about, is where do we want to build a throne room? Because it's going to be important to have one. It's also why I've been queuing up culling the sessile mechanoid trees, because for a throne room to be valid, it needs to be illuminated from braziers, and there's no other way to do that other than to burn wood, which is just a ridiculously inefficient way to have a throne room in Frost and Fire, but it's ridiculously inefficient literally by design. I wanted to make it very, very difficult and expensive for royals to have throne rooms as a difficulty mechanism. So, absolutely by design. And I'm going to connect these stay close zones so that our characters can't go wandering. I'm going to just sloppily do it. Oh, we already got that. Just so that the mech cluster that we have is, is not going to be an effective method of killing off our guys. So I should explain why I'm doing this, I guess. So the reason is, if you have an island like this, you're telling your characters that it's valid to go here, but you're not telling them how to get there. Which means, not that it's likely, but let's say, because of this island, we have a guy here. A valid path to get to this spot would be to snake all the way up through these tunnels to go through the mech cluster, get killed, and then go to the island, right? I don't want that to happen. I want to essentially tell my characters exactly what their valid paths are, which is why I don't leave it up to interpretation. So now that I've made it not an island, I'm saying the only way to get to this spot is to go this way, because there is no, I call them islands, but there's no it's one giant contiguous zone, which is important. So I have Mackie and Opus here just staying inside. I've maxed out their psi focus. Oh, one other thing. So yeah, okay, I already did the animal bonding. Maxing out their psi focus so they stay out of trouble. They don't piss each other off. All right, so I have a pretty good amount of components now. And my quests are done in 7 and 8 hours apiece. So that's a pretty short period of time, which is kind of nice. We'll be out of here in no time. All right, so JD, you're going for ship chunks. I would like you to work on tailoring first after you get this ship chunk. I'm going to manually tell them to haul back the components so it doesn't decay. Steel can be out here for, forever. It doesn't really matter, but components not so much. We'll start to get precision rifling for sniper rifles, which could be very, very useful. And then autocannon turrets. I might actually go autocannon turrets first. Okay, painting a valid path. And then issuing mining here. And there's also steel here to grab and some ruins to break down. Now, I haven't found an ancient danger, but there's a pretty good reason to think that there might be an ancient danger somewhere on this map. Like maybe behind the steel... Well, that steel wall's damaged. Ancient dangers don't tend to be damaged. But there could still be an ancient danger somewhere. I'm just not sure where it is. So now that I have multi-analyzer researched, let's get that constructed. And Bash just took off his shirt because it dropped below... It hit 51%, which is 1% above tattered. And I don't want people to wear tattered clothing because of the mood penalty, so I have them taking it off automatically. But here's JD crafting a new one. And I could also flick off this light just to make it a little bit more difficult. On purpose, so he spends more time crafting and that's good for us. All right, Bash is now working on the multi-analyzer. Gabe, you are mining components. Here, before you go rest, just finish this mine. And then once he's done hitting the components on the map, oh, here goes the refugees, Yeti, and Ian. So let me take a look at them. I want to take a look at them, and the reason being is... Oh, I guess they already left. Oh, darn. The reason I wanted to look at them is to make sure that if one of them wanted to join me in the future, I knew whether I wanted them or not. But I guess it's too late for that. And the shuttle has arrived for the Royals. So let's take a look. This Royal has nothing to drop. Meku, you've got nothing to drop. Mackie, ooh. Mackie can drop his plasma sword. I don't know why, but I'm going to have him do it. And then Eudokia, you have nothing to drop. So let's load up these Royals and send them all packing. And I'm going to promptly steal Mackie's plasma sword because it was not bound to him. Almost certainly a game bug, but I will absolutely take advantage of it. Then the next thing I wanted to do is to reset my bedrooms so that, well, I mean, you'll see in a second. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to install lights in the bedrooms that I'm keeping. And then make the bedrooms, all of the bedrooms, the first 4. Meaning that this here is going to be Gabe, I think, has had the lowest mood. So Gabe is going to have the nicest bedroom. Because this bedroom has the most jade walls. And then this will be Raptors, JDs, and then Bashes. And then these other bedrooms here, I'm going to shut off the vents and not have to AC or cool them or anything like that. Okay, we have a poor gorilla shirt. That sucks, but oh well. Yeti's Travelers and Hosting Royals are both done. And then that means that Raptor here can become a royal. He can be bestowed a title, but requires a throne room. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a throne room ready for him, so it's not something that's going to happen immediately. But it will in time. Cargo pods of a lot of milk. Epic. Totally, I'll take it. Oh, we have a Gorillo down here. What do we have? Just one Gorillo? This Gorillo is almost certainly going to manhunter and hunt me at some point. But I actually wouldn't mind recruiting said Gorillo. So this is a decent bedroom. Okay, that's fine. Part of the reason it's decent is the... Wait, why are you hurt? Oh, Fib Mechs. Yes, yeah, right, I forgot. Part of the reason it's decent is because the heaters take up considerable space. But that's just how it's going to be. All right, so Bash, I'll give you this bedroom. And now all these old bedrooms here, let me move this one over here. All these old bedrooms, I'm going to forbid the doors once I take the plants out. And then illuminating them with lights so that we can plant year-round and have the daylilies grow and become beautiful. Almost done. Almost done. All right, so now the 4 extra bedrooms won't be tended to, won't be heated, won't be cooled. I won't have to worry about them. Speaking of heating and cooling, I could definitely turn off a significant amount of my AC here. Now, the way this works, I do get questions all the time, and let me pause a second. I do get questions all the time about staggering temperatures. So here's a great example. I have 10 coolers in my freezer. It used to be that you had to stagger the temperatures for efficiency, but if you see here, this cooler's idle, 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 on, idle, idle, or on. So only 2 of my 10 coolers right now are actually on, drawing 200 watts from the grid. All the rest are idle at 20 watts. You don't need to stagger your temperatures to save power. And that's also true of heaters too. It's totally 100% unnecessary to do the old-fashioned like 1 or 2 degree difference per, that's just not something that's necessary, not at all. And I wanted to make that clear because I think that's a very common misconception. And it used to be that it was required. It is no longer, and you can save effort and time by not staggering it. So I'm going to have Gabe do one more run of rice to get a significant bounty of rice before changing crops over to, hops and psychite leaves and that kind of stuff. Oh, Bash, are you hauling rice? Don't kill me here. He's making fine meals out of the milk, but he's not hauling all the milk at once. Alright, so you're digging at jade. Once the jade's done, I do believe we'll start cutting trees down, which is good. Pretty soon here, Bash will be able to have one of these crabs fully trained so that we can have crab hauling. Yeah, 6 out of 7. That's pretty close. I don't think I'm ever going to have Angelia haul, to be honest. I'm just going to stop training her in Haul and have her attack and rescue, because given her brain injuries, she's just not going to make a very good hauler. And then also she's an egg layer, which means I don't want the eggs laid outdoors anyway. So it's best for me to keep her close to the base anyway. So it's sort of a win-win for her to stay home, because she's also a bound animal and I don't want to risk her either. So a ton of reasons to keep her home. As you can see, Gabe is starting to cut down these trees for wood. And we are replenishing our simple meals. Now these heaters I'm going to flick off for now. I'm just installing them for the winter that's eventually to come. We don't need the space here for beds or anything. Well, that's annoying. This is a perfect demonstration of why I space my power out, so that each object in my power grid has space between it, so that in the case of a fire, I can easily maneuver between wind turbine or solar generator. Yes, it takes up some more square footage, but the benefit of it is that in the case of a fire, I can put it out without, you know, lighting myself on fire or whatever. All right, let me just finish removing this stupid floor. It's flagstone, so we're not getting anything for it. I just want to remove it for removing its sake. All right, my current, oh, we have more silver down here to mine up. And then once I have a few hundred spare rice, I'll start to set up my the food that I produce to a variety. You know, the crops, I should say. Another thing I want to do is put a door in here instead of a wall, so that we have more options of how to get out of the base in a pinch. Temporary workers. You want my help to explore swamp? Well, I don't believe swamps exist. Knight, I don't think I'm going to accept this, only because I already have some pretty good honor, and he wants my person for kind of a while. If I had like a fifth wheel, I would consider lending out, but I don't really have a fifth wheel, so I don't really want to do that. Oh boy. Alright, Gabe, you are in danger. Raptor. Actually, everybody else respond. So a ton of blood spiders are chasing me down. Individually, they are weak, but they are swarmy and dangerous in numbers. Taking a look at the map here. Okay, so there's a Gorillo with blood spiders on top of it. So that Gorillo is probably also in danger. Well, I think the Gorillo would win, to be honest. But I'm running a big loop to get away from these blood spiders. I have the full crew defending. Now, the insect meat I get from these blood spiders, definitely good to feed my crabs. Alright, so Gabe, go back to mining and then haul. and then everybody else here can haul blood spider home. I just want to keep an eye on the other ones, because these other ones are inevitably going to chase me down soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but you know they're coming. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Now the blood spiders here, the gorilla might go after the blood spiders for a source of food, but probably not inversely. Gorillas are too big for blood spiders to eat, I believe is how they're coded. So there isn't a threat of blood spiders going after gorilla as much. We also have visitors. Mechanists from the south visiting the colony. Cool. Well, I really hope you don't exit going north, because that will be super fatal. And I'm going to make sure that Gabe here... Yep, he is being chased. At this point, probably my visitors are being attacked by blood spiders. Yep, that's fine. The other two are still up here. Good. I'm making sure that after I harvest trees, these sessile mechanoid trees, I am bringing the wood to my stockpiles. So it doesn't just sit out here rotting for no reason. We're most of the way to getting autocannon turrets, which will significantly improve our defenses. But I'm planning on doing uranium slug as well, especially if we get some deep drilling and scanning and the like. So now I think I'm going to convert some of these basins over to alternative resources. Okay. And then speaking of heal root, I just noticed that we don't have heal root being stored in my freezer, so we'll do that. Oh, whoops, that was a misclick. No, I did it right. Okay, good. Wildlife. We do have a blood spider coming in. Almost certainly going to attack my visitors. And it's dead. Last blood spider is probably doing the same thing. Yep, Jojo got it. Good chopping, Jojo. You really killed that blood spider really fast. Alright, machinists, excuse me, are leaving. Hopefully they avoid the mech cluster. I don't control where they go necessarily, so they go where they go, but oh yeah, they'll be fine. Unless the gorilla says otherwise. But the gorilla seems fine. What is this scratch pop from? As far as I can tell, this gorilla did not fight the blood spiders. So my wood's back up to 122. It's still very low, especially if I'm going to be a royal. But it's better than where it was. We're getting some hops and psychite planted. And exotic goods. Oh boy. Can you guys hug the West? Oh, I think they're going to. I would very much like the opportunity to trade with exotic goods. And somehow or another, they perfectly avoided this mech cluster, which is fantastic. That is excellent. Alright, Raptor, you are our trader. So once you're done researching, oh, I guess you're going now. So, a Psi Trainer of Berserk. Berserk is a Psi Link 5. That would be pretty powerful, but that's not really going to come into play for a long time. I wouldn't mind a telescope. It's pretty expensive, but it does give us a new recreation type. What else? I could sell... So Bone Dogs, if you're wondering, they're selling some Bone Dogs. They are sort of like wolves. They're pretty tolerant of extreme temperatures, but not the dead of winter or middle summer. They do eat vegetables, so that's good. And they have a less of a hunger rate than crabs. So they make for better pets than crabs, arguably, but they don't yield wool or anything like that. So there isn't some added benefit. So I think my trade is going to be what you see here. I'm probably going to keep the components I currently have and not go for the Berserk Psycast, mostly because I don't afford it. So where did that telescope go? Here it is. So I could just hit the telescope out back. And that there is a telescope study type recreation. Which is great. Gorilla hunting Gabe. Alright, go. Jesus. Well, this is bad. So it's sort of on top of Gabe. The Gorilla here moves at 4-5. Gabe moves at... Oh, Gabe's a jogger, isn't he? Or no, he's not a jogger. He's on fibrous mechanites, which allows him to significantly outrun this Gorilla, so I can mess with him. So actually, everybody else that was coming to Gabe's help, Gabe's got this. He's sick, and being sick, he's actually pretty efficient at the old run. He's the only one with mechanites, so he's uniquely skilled for this. So now that I have autocannon turrets, let's go precision rifling so I can get slugs. Slugs are going to be very powerful. I'm actually not going to go into my tunnel. I'm going to keep kiting this thing around. As you can see, the external temperature now is very temperate. It's a temperate 71 Fahrenheit or 22 Celsius. I got to make sure not to go north anymore. Uh-oh. Yep, that's what I didn't want. And now I'm missing a toe on my other foot. Congratulations, me. I literally warned myself about the thing I didn't want to do, and then I did it anyway. I do have Bash here as sort of insurance. Bash, at this point, you can go haul that wood away, I guess. Some of my shots are just bouncing off the Gorilla, because it does have a thick hide. Alright, we'll patch up. Definitely going to need to consider bionic legs for Gabe, considering the toe injuries that he has received. A mix of sloppiness by me and bad luck as well. But, you know, that happens. Alright, we can have Raptor tend to him. Just a little missing toe. He's going to be immediately fine. Going back into work. Bash got... Oh, so here's the thing. I don't want... let me shrink this down. So I don't want to store the meat. Oh god. So cooking meat here, no human, no fowl. So I don't want to store the meat where it will spoil, because obviously that's a terrible, terrible idea. So let me store the meat where I want it. But we are running out of rooms for stuff, as you can see. So I can remove this inner metal. So this inner metal was when at the height of our heat wave, I added some walls there to reduce the square footage so that it was easier to cool, but I don't need that anymore. We can get rid of that. So my guys are hauling in the wood. Gabe needs to be, oh boy, I hadn't done that. He needs to be set back on, we've got raiders, Reaper Raiders. So there's a group of brawlers up in the northeast. And then there's a group of brawlers south. Gabe is immediately endangered. Now these are quote-unquote smart. Ooh, Bash. JD, you stand right there. Why isn't Bash... Bash got caught immediately. Alright, so JD, get down there. Raptor, get down there. Gabe is running. Bash is trying to juke it out, but he's not going to fare well, I can already tell you that. 3 versus 1. It's bad odds. Raptor, get going. Oh, we killed one, sounds like, yep. Luckily, this raid here has pretty low-tier weapons. Alright, so Bash is downed. Ooh, JD killed another. But he, you know, because of the low-tier weapons, not any deep wounds or anything. Just annoying. Okay, let's back up. I'm going to purposely leave this door open to draw this brawler in. Alright, Gabe is definitely outrunning them. So this was Frost. Who are the other ones? We've got Edie and Yanshui. Was he moving backwards to think about kidnapping? Well, that's not going to work for me. Alright, so Gabe should be through the doors soon. And yeah, these guys are going a different way. Great. Alright, let's kill Frost and go rescue Bash. That was just bad luck that they basically spawned on him. So Raptor, I guess you're not going to eat that meal. Rescue and JD haul the sword. Well, we'll worry about the meals later. Because then the other group, Krupp, Volnut, Denton, Thok, and Festus, and Eve, I guess, falling behind. Eve, are you Slowpoke or something? No, you're a fast walker. I don't know why you fell behind. Oh, they're coming. Okay, so it's good that I went for the sword and the rescue because they were coming south. We'll close this door behind us and not let them through. There's also the matter of I have my visitors that I could involve in the fighting. I don't think I'm going to, but it'd be possible. But I don't want these guys getting behind me in my base or whatever. So Bash, your duster. Got it. I'm going to have to make a duster. His duster, oh, you know, I can make it out of Grillo. His duster became damaged. You know what, another thing I could do? Let's just have my exotic goods people fight this themselves. Oh, not unless... Oh, they're gonna start setting stuff on fire. So I'm gonna go out here manually and draw them to my exotic goods. Here we go. They're jumping into action. And then Raptor, I'm going to have you peel off and go tend to bash with herbal meds. Oh, come on, Bass. Or Bass, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm gonna guess Bass. Oh, hey, they dropped an LMG. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And a ton of silver. And tech prints. Because they killed a Garu, which I can also butcher for meat. Oh, and a Bolty. Yeah, these, I'm very, very pleased by allowing my guests to do the heavy lifting here. I'm not happy about the stupid fires that they've been setting everywhere in my base, but I'll go beat the fires out now. So that bolt action rifle, gonna be very, very nice. And oh, there's still one more. There's also a bone dog that I'll be able to rescue, perchance. So Raptor, I want you to assign. Grab the bolt action rifle, and then we'll rescue this bone dog. It's not my bone dog, so I don't get to keep it, but still pretty nice. We have other fires to beat out, and then Raptor, I want you to apply the jump pack tech print. And this is just easy to replace. And then let's haul the spoils of the battle in. So there's the tech print. I'm going to tend to the bone dog without meds. And then I'm going to have Raptor butcher these skeletons that are out there. I'm also going to want to do something about the dead defenders. I will respectfully bury them, I guess. It's also possible that in the future I will have Raptor here is Bloodlust, so he would benefit from morbid focus type. So it's also possible that in the future I would have like a sarcophagus for him, so he has something beyond his throne room to gain psi focus. But that was pretty fortuitous. Well, guys, that is all the time I have. I wanted to thank you all for voting in the polls, for voting about the molting crabs. I'm very happy with the poll results. I hope you are too. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching, everybody. I hope to catch you next episode. And if you'd like to discuss Frost and Fire, Discord's the place to be. Rhadamant.com has the link to it. I'll catch you all next episode. Farewell.